Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, have you heard of Virtual PBX?
No, what is that, like virtual peanut butter and jelly?
Virtual PBX provides affordable business phone plans for entrepreneurs that need a way to connect to their customers. Never give out a personal number again. They offer business telephone numbers, call forwarding, professional greetings, and so much more.
Isn't that the phone you have in your office?
That's correct. I have a Virtual PBX Yalink, the T21P E2, but it is the same phone that you will see on the NBC show The Office. So when you see Dwight and Jim slamming down the phone, I have that same exact phone.
Nice. Do you have a stapler and Jell-O?
It's the most important aspect of an office, making sure you have a good telephone.
Yeah, and I think you can save 15% off when you sign up, right?
That's correct. If you go to virtualpbx.com/podcast, again, that's /podcast, you can save up to 15% and you can enjoy their new Flex plans starting as low as $13 per month.
Well, that sounds awesome.
Yes. Are you looking to start a new business or have to have professional greetings, call forwarding, texting, voicemail, virtual receptionist? If you're looking for any of those items, don't go anyplace else but Virtual PBX.
That sounds cool. I kind of want a sandwich right now.
Mike wants a sandwich, and you deserve a better IP phone solution. Visit Virtual PBX. Visit them at virtualpbx.com/podcast. We would like to thank Podcorn for sponsoring this episode of TechTime Radio. Explore sponsorship opportunities and start monetizing your podcast by signing up at podcorn.com/podcasters. Let me tell you about Podcorn. Podcorn is an absolute must for any podcaster starting out. Now, when we started out TechTime Radio, we started out in a back office with a couple of mics. We expanded to a studio, and then now, as you can see, we're on the radio and have distribution into other markets. Having the ability to have Podcorn at the start of our podcast would have been a dream come true. Guess what? With Podcorn, you now have the amazing opportunity for podcasts to receive sponsorship, such as host reads, interview segments, and topical discussions. With Podcorn, there's no middleman. Podcasters of all sizes can browse and choose opportunities right on their platform, set their own rates, and collaborate with brands directly without exclusivities. You never give up the rights of your podcast in Podcorn, and they're here to support you everywhere possible. Visit podcorn.com. Again, that's podcorn.com. Podcorn is a true success for those starting their podcast dreams.
Coming to you from the shores of the Pacific Northwest, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side. With leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan
What was
Mumm.
that?
That's our new second hour music.
I don't recall that.
We had that at the production meeting, and you said you liked it.
I think you switched it.
I didn't. How can I switch it? It was the same MP3
I don't
file.
know. It sounded different, but
Did you-
it was okay.
It was okay? Okay. Well, that is our more relaxed second hour
That's
of
our drunk
show.
music.
Well, no, it's not drunk music. It's more relaxed and jazzy. So
Okay.
So it's at 100% royalty free that we own it. The other one we don't quite own. So we're gonna like that one
that's
even better.
royalty
That's right.
free music.
All right. And did you notice the announcer was a little different announcing at the beginning and the end? So you
I
hear a little
wasn't
bit
paying attention to him.
Oh, okay.
I was like trying to figure out that weird music.
All right. Well, welcome to TechTime Radio, Hour 2. If you joined us from
TechTime Plus.
That's right. This is the Plus Hour here. We're going to charge you $9, and we'll let you subscribe to it, and then we will replay it
Only
on
in
the
Bitcoin.
on the Bitcoin.
Yeah.
From Nick's
You have to do it in
recommendation place.
cryptocurrency.
That's right.
On our website, quote unquote.
If you joined us in the first hour and you're joining us for the second hour, welcome back. This is going to be a little bit more relaxed. It's a little bit different type of aspect for our show. We expect it to be very entertaining, and we'll probably adopt and change as we progress. But we got some pretty cool segments that we've planned out.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time. Thanks to all of the staff at TechTime Radio, including our production staff here today on the show, David, Mike, and myself. And then we have Gwen, Josh, Jin Lee, everybody else back at home that has helped be a part of this. So thank you guys very much. We are excited. We are from 4 to 6 p.m., and we are streaming on Facebook, twitch.tv, Facebook.com/TechTime Radio, Twitter.com/TechTime Radio. If there's any...
You got that all right? You got that down?
Yeah, so if
We need
there's
to put
any...
it on Pinterest now.
well, we're not on Pinterest. We can take pictures of 2 minutes. All right. So now we're really
the
excited.
alcohol
Our website has released, so our brand new website, it needs to be updated. So there's some stuff still that are kind of in templates. I didn't have time to update everything. It's a WordPress site from our old Wix site to a WordPress. We thank ChristinaPetrie.com
Yes.
that helped design everything because
She did a great job.
She did a fantastic job. You can watch our streams there. You can watch a lot of information. And the most cool, unique, important aspect of that is you can sign up for our newsletter. So our staff, Mike, myself, and my staff are going to write a monthly newsletter about any topics that interest
What?
ourselves. Yeah, we talked about this at the deal. Were you like dozing off?
I think maybe.
We
Was
maybe
that the
having some
night that I
whiskey.
was drunk?
No, maybe having some whiskey on the side, weren't you?
Maybe.
No. All right, so we are already drinking our whiskey from the first show, and it's our Evan Williams Single Barrel 2013 86.6 proof. So as we continue through...
That's right. You gave it a thumbs up, and I gave it a thumbs down. But I'm going to keep drinking.
We're going to still keep drinking it, though?
That's right.
So it's not bad enough that you have to...
It's not. No, it's not. It's
You just
not
wouldn't pay
bad by
$30
me.
bucks for it.
No, I wouldn't pay $30 for it. It wouldn't be on my shelf.
I got you. All right, so you can always find out more information about everything that we're doing at TechTimeRadio.com. This is a 2-hour show for the everyday common person with a simple format so you do not have to geek out. Our second hour show today is going to continue on with our tastings. We have some more in-depth segments on our
We're going to
first
talk about
subject.
some of the stuff we talked about. In the
We
first
did
hour.
the highlights on our top 5 stories in the first 5 minutes. We just kind of highlight some shows. We're going to get a little bit more in depth on a couple of those things. If you would like to engage us specifically about the COVID-19 verification passports that are moving from paper to digital, and you have an opinion about it, right now reach out to us at 425-373-5527 or 188-298-KKNW, or you can hashtag us on Twitter. Don't be driving and hashtag us, so make sure you pull over to the side of the road. Hashtag TechTime Radio. If you have a question
Speech
or
to
you
text,
have something
baby.
that you're very
Speech to
passionate
text.
about that, please take care of it, because we're going to talk about all the countries that have developed different aspects in this application itself. So it's time to welcome Mike Gourdet to the show. Now, in our first show, we essentially ask you a question to start out the day. This time,
Yeah,
we're
gonna be
really
talking-
excited because we have some conversation cards presented to us by the Love Shack. And I heard that the Love Shack, it's a KKNW program. And I heard someone was on the show this Thursday. Is that correct?
I was on the show, yeah.
And how'd that go?
It went very well.
It went very well.
Yeah.
What were your subjects that they asked you about?
We were talking about how technology affects relationships.
Oh, okay.
And we had a very nice discussion about it. And do we know how I got on the show?
How did you get on the show?
I got on the show because somebody threw me under the bus.
Who's that? I don't know if anybody threw you under the bus.
Wait a minute.
Well, I think they just said that you probably needed some help on the dating stuff, right? But you don't. You wanted to be very clear. You do not need help dating.
That's right. You were like, oh, he's having some, and they created a commercial.
They created a commercial for you that you're
was-
going to hear in this segment.
that
so
we'll
you're
hear,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. All right. So each week.
No, they were great.
They were great. They were
It
great.
was-
Stacy Bartley and her husband, great job. They're
Right.
putting together a program. It's becoming really good. We're going to probably do some cross promotions with them. You're going to hear their ads. Did you hear our ad on their program?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're getting some
While they
cross-
were filming me while I was in the backstage.
Yeah, that's right. You should have been like, I love that ad. All right. So here we go. We're going to start out each one of these shows with essentially their conversational cards. And we got David involved in this. So all three of us.
So this is for a romance.
This
thing,
is
right?
for a kind of a romance thing, but we're going to be
Are we
doing
going to do some
I went through,
bromancing here? We're going to do some bromancing?
Yeah, I went through about
Okay.
15 of these, and they're all pretty appropriate. So it's just conversational.
Oh, we
starters.
need to get to the non-appropriate.
Okay, if you could write a book, this is kind of like, what would it be about, and what would the title be?
I've written books.
I know you have, so we'll start with you first. Go first.
You want to know the one that I wrote?
What's the name of the one that you wrote that you didn't finish the story plot to? So the guys,
The one that I wrote about human behavior is Why We Suck.
why we suck. Did it not sell well?
I haven't published. I'm still
Okay.
working on it, but
Okay.
it's called Why We Suck: the hubris and hypocrisy of the humanimal.
Oh wow! Okay.
How about that?
Okay.
How about that title?
That sounds good. David, you're next up. But
How can I follow that?
Well, that's what happens when you you got a book
Is
title.
this like a relationship type thing or just a book title in general?
Oh, I'm just using a book title in general. I'm not doing a relationship
if you
one.
do it with your
significant other, then I guess
I
then
think it would be different book titles, don't you?
Well, no, mine will be the same. Mine is still going to be the same. All right.
What was your book title?
Well, I've got to wait. David's up. David, what would you do?
Why don't you do yours first?
All right, The Last Starfighter Part 2.
Oh my God!
The Last Starfighter Part 2. I've been waiting for the sequel. I don't care what it is.
As
It's-
predictable as
that's
a
right.
glacier.
I know, absolutely. The Last Starfighter Part 2. And Alex is up there, and then is crazy.
They're talking about recreating that movie.
I know, but they're going to do a whole new cast, which I don't want. I just want it to continue.
Yeah, but everybody's like freakishly old now. So
Zenturi's dead
he's
actually now.
dead.
He can't come back and
That's
still
right.
be dead. But
The Last Starfighter.
two. That's right. By Nathan Mumm.
20, what, 30 years
It'll be the
after?
number one seller. I'll just tell you.
Okay, now that you've helped me, that it's not relationship, it just could be anything. How about this? From a movie that I once saw, it's a simple game. You hit the ball, you run the ball,
crying
you
in
catch the
baseball,
ball.
buddy. There's no crying in baseball.
Are you going to do a Field of Dreams too?
Maybe between that and Bull Durham.
Bull Durham?
Yeah.
No, the best baseball movie of
He's
all
gonna
time,
do
The Natural.
Bullfields.
Fields.
There you go. The Natural. You see The Natural, Robert Redford?
Yes. I remember
That's a great flick. He's like bleeding down.
Yeah.
His bat breaks. The boy brings the ball up. He hits the lights.
There's no
he gets
crying
the home
in
run.
baseball. That's my favorite quote.
Field of Dreams is pretty good too.
Well, yeah.
All right, here we go. All right,
If
so
you
that puts
build
our
it.
conversation out there. So we are going to start our first segment.
Are you sure we
Yeah.
want to? We can beat this one with a bat for a while. if
No,
you want.
absolutely. I got about 52 cards
No
of this.
pun
so
intended on that one.
that's right.
No, it was totally intended.
All right, so we're going to move on to today's show.
I'm not a cat.
We're going to start each of our segments on segment 2 with a new segment we call Letters.
We get letters. We get stacks of letters. Oh, letters. We get letters. And the letters all have fun.
That's right. Let's
from
start.
Perry Como, isn't
That
it?
is absolutely from Perry
Oh, my
Como.
God.
So we got letters here. So this is the informative emails that I have received during the week. This includes scams, phishing emails, and outright mistruths, legitimately disguised as official mail, and it is part of our letter segment. So I'm just going to read
Is this
it.
the Prince of Namibia?
Well, you know what? Let me just tell you. I printed out like 18, and that was just this week. So we're going to have so many.
We don't need to go through all of them.
We're not going to go through them. We're going to. We got. Make sure, David, you got a 5-minute timer on me because I could go forever. Here we go.
He will.
All
We
right,
already know
from iCloud. And the address is U51APWT8G at orcarnationcatalog.com. Now, if I wouldn't actually print it out to see that, it would just look like it's coming from iCloud. Your iCloud ID has been locked on Wednesday, April 28th, 2021. Reference 9087180. Your iCloud has been locked on Wednesday, April 28th, 2021 for security reasons. Reference number, listen to this, 70432. So different series,
Different reference number.
So I guess the subject reference number is even more important
I don't know about that.
than the subject right here. All right? If you do not respond within 12 hours to this email, YOVJIYVIP, or the URL at HKGMDPLE at salesprotection.scams.com.
.scams.com.
So they got scams in their title.
That's awesome.
Your
They're
iCloud
telling
will be deleted. Well, if you don't click and print it out, you wouldn't know it because it's just the hyperlink stuff, right?
Right.
So you just see a link there that would say that it was taken care of. All right. For your convenience, you may appreciate your patience. Please contact us directly, and we will get back to you.
Okay. So
Now, it comes from Aud. They forgot the cloud. Aud Distribution International Ltd.
Yeah. Okay. So let's be clear that this is a phishing email.
That
They
is a
want you
phishing
to
email.
click on that hyperlink to get something from you. What do they think? What do you think they're trying to get?
So
from
they're
you?
so when you click on the email, it'll come on up and it'll look just like a Macintosh iCloud login and for username. Mm-hmm. And so I clicked on it just to see what it was. So great question. And it came on up, and so as I would type in my name and my password, it would then keep it on their server, and then they would immediately try to log into
And
my
then
iCloud
they can
account.
log into your account.
Correct.
Okay. So that's very important.
That is very important.
Right.
Not to. All right.
And what are they doing? They're taking advantage of your fear of your security breach.
But they're surely not spending any time for attention to detail
But
or
here's the thing:
or
they don't
punctuation.
need to. That's the problem.
Yeah?
They don't need to because we're so used to just scanning things nowadays that we're like, oh crap, oh this is something scary. I need to respond to it.
That's correct. Here we go. Next email. We got support server 4/29/2021 from info@zenvo.com, z-envio.com. Importance. Hi to Nathan Mumm. Office 365, your password for Nathan at ee-services.com is due to expire today, Thursday, April 29th, 2021. So they send it in the morning. Send it. Click on the link below to keep your account active.
Oh, no.
We respect your privacy. And then it puts my company, eesupport.com support. So they kind of missed the little part at the end of it. So, again, a phishing attempt. Said my server was out. Wasn't going to take care of it. Next letter that we have up here.
Is David giving you a finger?
Not yet.
Okay.
No. ForcePoint. Email at forcepoint.com. Practice steps to achieve continuous zero trust model. View this email in a web page. So the forcepoint.com looks like a legitimate email address. On the major headache for data security teams, we have provided you the most up-to-date ebook that will allow you to understand how to protect security. This ebook is worth thousands, and we're providing it to you for free.
How about
Learn
that?
about private access and build a better. There's that fake. It's worth millions.
That's the key right there.
Yep.
It's worth millions, but we're going to give it to you for free.
Protect your apps, your threats. Click on the link right here to learn more. So they send you, what they end up doing on this one is they'll actually send you an ebook of this file itself. But then what happens is they have your email address and they're going to continue to find more information. So this is not necessarily a phishing scam. This is a validation email attempt to see if the email will be responded to open up for other phishing attacks at a later time.
Right. Okay. So explain that a little bit more.
Yep.
They're
just trying to make the email, or they're making sure the email is valid and that I'm going to respond. And if I respond to information regarding this security risk, they know that I am interested in security, so they can tailor a special customized email specifically
right.
for
So
that.
they're just basically spamming emails.
Yep.
They're looking for real active emails.
For people to
from
respond
people-
on a subject matter.
Right.
All right, here we go. Probably the last one, because then we're going to move on. This one, I got so many good ones here. Oh, here's the one that always pops up. EE Services received a new fax message. Now, I don't have fax messages through the service.
I've gotten these.
Okay, so I have virtual PBX, is what
Right.
I've told you. One of our sponsors, and we've had their CEO on, and we talked with them, and great time, COO on, and talked with them. So I know that if I get a fax, thanks, David.
There's the solution.
If I get a fax, I know that it's going to be coming from virtual PBX. That's what it says at the very first title. So as soon as you send me a thing that says e-service fax, now it's coming from Shipwreck at memorymamapress.com. So,
Memory Mama, huh?
So Memory Mama, M-A-M-A, Memory
Mama.
So Memory Mama, press.com, which doesn't seem like a legit site. It says 2 scan pages in the PDF HTML format. Please click on here and download so you can take a look at your newest information that was faxed. Now, if you click on this and you do not have a good virus anti-protection, and you can get one for free, which is called Windows Defender, which would pick this up. But if you don't have that on your machine, and you decide to use some third party that we told you not to use,
Like a Vast?
like a Vast or a McAfee, so using any of those, essentially what would happen is you would download an executable on your machine, and that would either give them remote access to log into your machine remotely with an alert, or what it could do is it could actually put a worm virus into your machine,
So just
and
hang
malware
out until a later time.
at a later time, and then they could access my machine and go into my Coinbase account and sell my stuff out if they don't have two-factor authentication. So that is the end of our segment, and that is called Letters. We will be doing that every week to start out our second hour. It should bring some excitement and joy. I got so many of these great letters. Now,
and then we can give you tips, right?
they can give me tips. Now, if you have a great email that comes to you, because I tried to find the Prince email. I couldn't find the...
Dude, don't get me started about my email. I hate my email.
There you go. So essentially, if you could get an email...
That's got to be a meme somewhere.
That's got to be a
Prince
meme.
of Namibia.
So I tried to find it a little bit, and I don't have any in my inbox specifically itself. I could find other ones. But if you have a great email that was sent to you that you didn't click on, please don't send me a click on one. You can actually go to our website. We're so excited about this. And call in the top right-hand corner, there's Be a Caller. Click on that link. Tell me about the email. It'll send an email to our main distribution email list. I will personally respond to that, and I would love to read it on the air for you. So this is an opportunity for you to submit your emails to us so I can read them and laugh about how crazy some of these emails are.
I get stuff on my phone. You know, vishing, not phishing.
Oh, we talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about that before, where they tell me my Social Security number has been compromised and the FBI is looking for me and stuff like
So
that.
I always get these banks that I've never heard of. So I love getting a Wells Fargo thing. I have no Wells Fargo account anywhere. Wells Fargo account is about to expire. Like, oh, fantastic. I had money I didn't even know about. Okay, well, I guess I'll have to let that expire.
This is where laziness is really helpful.
All right. Well, we are going to go to our first commercial break. When we come on back, we have lots to talk about. We're going to be talking about passports, about COVID-19, specifically digital technology and how each of the countries around the world are using different technology processes. So if you got an opinion about this, call us 425-373-5527 or 888-298-KKNW, which is 888-298-5569. We'd love to put you on the air also.
Hey, honey, did you hear what I heard?
What's up, babe?
I heard Mike over there at TechTime Radio. He's like battling he's in the like that the swimming with the sharks in that singles arena, if you will. You know?
Oh, bless his heart. And I also heard, like you did, that maybe things aren't going so great. You know what he needs, babe?
I think he needs to spend a little time in Love Shack.
Yeah, Love Shack. The Love Shack that airs every Thursday at 1 p.m. PST on KKNW 1150.
Come on, Mike. Come on over and join us. We got you.
Upper Left Corner is a PNW true crime podcast now streaming on all major podcast platforms. If you get excited when your favorite true crime podcast tells a story about a place that you've been to or the town that you live in, then Upper Left Corner podcast is for you. Each week, I tell you a story of a crime that has taken place in the PNW and give you background about the town the crime occurred in. If you like true crime, check out Upper Left Corner podcast, now available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and more.
Ace Hardware is a helpful place with prompt, friendly service, knowledge, and the little things that make a big difference.
Service.
Selection.
Advice.
Community involvement.
Competitive prices.
Convenience.
Located near you.
And the things you need, such as
house keys,
lawn and garden,
plumbing,
electrical,
hardware,
grills,
outdoor living supplies,
and even nuts and bolts.
When you visit Ace Hardware, you'll be greeted at the door and given the help you need.
So come visit us at Ace Hardware in Evergreen Way in Everett, Lake Stevens, and now Stanley.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Welcome back to TechTime Radio.
I gotta get used to all this new intro music.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of new intro music. Here we go. Welcome back to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm. We're going to be joining our first subject that we talked about. What?
I'm sorry.
What are you thinking about?
The music is kind of like 70s stuff.
So maybe
it's almost like bow bow chicka bow bow.
Wow. No, it's not wow. I think that was one of my music things. That wasn't David's music.
Okay.
So, all right. Okay. Here we go. Welcome back to TechTime Radio. Again, if you want to join us on the call, we're going to be talking about the COVID-19 vaccine digital passports in this app. We talked about it on our top 5 stories in the first 5 minutes, but we are now going to move into our next subject, which is called Ask the Expert.
This is a segment we call Ask the Experts.
All right, so let's dive more into this. What's that?
You repeated it.
I did, didn't I? I
Ask
said
the
that.
expert.
You know what? And David was probably ready to go there. I did it the whole first hour.
A one-finger salute.
I know. He was like, "What are you talking about?"
He's gonna chuck something.
That's right. All right, he's all on top of it. He's got a lot of work to do today.
I know. We gave him
so we did see that maybe the Facebook stream. It looks like it maybe went out. Maybe Facebook only lets you stream for an hour. So
I don't know what that is.
So if you want to watch our show, it's on twitchtv.com. But don't go there. Go to techtimeradio.com and click on the in-process feed to watch our show directly from our website.
Yeah,
it helps us create our SEO and everything else. So just go to techtimeradio.com, watch the feed there, or you can always go to KKNW 1150's webpage and watch the show or listen to it live.
There you go.
All right, so let's talk about this.
What expert are we asking?
Well, we're going to ask the experts because we're going to actually take an article out of the New York Times. So the New York Times are the experts that kind of put this article together. So we're going to go through some facts, some information that's specifically happening regarding taking passports in apps from around the globe. Instead of having a
this
piece
is
of
our
paper,
third story from the first hour.
This is our third story from the first hour. So if you want to go back and listen to hour 1, you can watch it again on Mondays at 11 o'clock at techtimeradio.com, hour 1, and you can hear a little bit about this. But essentially, the idea is that the platinum card for the COVID age is the vaccination certificate, right? It's a piece of paper. You show that?
I got mine.
Okay, so you got that right there. So that's kind of like your get out of jail free card, right?
Well, I haven't had to use it for anything, but
now isn't the idea of this? So this is what this me and you had this conversation off air already. Isn't the idea that if we all get vaccinated that we're supposed to be able to go back and enjoy regular life again?
Well, yeah, that's the end goal.
Okay.
But we're getting the vaccinations so that we all build up immunity, and then we move into herd immunity. That's when there's more people who are vaccinated who are not. More people running around with antibodies, so the disease doesn't spread as quickly. It doesn't mean that the disease is going to go away.
That makes sense.
And I'm not a medical doctor, so I don't know all the ins and outs of this stuff. I just happen to know a little
So let's
bit
say you
about
want to travel now, right?
Yeah.
You got vaccinations. Some countries would allow you in. Some countries would not allow you in.
I think we're still the kid in the corner. I think we don't have any. We have a lot of travel restrictions about out of the U.S. Right?
Correct. But there are a lot of countries that make you have to quarantine for 14 days. So if you come on in there, you got to be for 14 days. So let's talk about tools. Are you going to carry around? So I travel. Previously COVID, I traveled a lot. Two things that bothered me. One, I loved Alaska Airlines, and I loved having my ticket on my phone. That was very simple. I come on up to the scanner. I put my phone on the scanner. It would scan it, say valid ticket. Right. And then I had to reach into my pocket
and get
my passport. Get my passport. Then I had to get another part that would be my validation for any vaccinations if I was moving into a third world country, and they wanted to make sure those vaccinations are taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea of being able to have this all together in digital format seems like a natural progression to move into.
Well, yeah, this is where technology helps us out, right? This is where it can be really utilized as a tool for this, because we all are carrying around these.
Yeah, my wife has mine, so I just took a picture of it. It's on my phone. But
yeah,
but with that piece of paper, essentially anybody could write that piece of paper.
But no, I was talking about our phone.
Oh, your phone.
You know, we're all carrying around these little microcomputers all over the place. Most of us have them nowadays.
So wouldn't it make sense to have that recognizable yellow card that's for international travel built into your phone?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about.
Actually, we have a comment that just popped up here.
What was that?
McSherry says, I had to get certain vaccines to go to Thailand and had to give proof.
Yes. So it's really difficult. So international travel is thanks, David, it's very difficult to take care of because you have to travel around the world. You have to show these verifications. Sometimes they'll call the place, and if they can't get the doctor, because clearly if you're over in South Africa, it's not the same time as your doctor time. And if you're traveling in on a Saturday, I know people that have waited at customs check-ins until Monday morning when their doctors were available for them to call again because they couldn't get clearance.
Nice.
So if we could actually have this taken care of. Now with COVID-19, lots of push to have this taken care of, to move everything that you got into digital information. And boy, let's see if it's really valid or not. So MIT expert Ramir Rasquez says that he believes the development of having paperless certificates are going to be the standard for everybody to have in the coming future. We have that with documents, with DocuSign, everything that's available. He believes that this is the future itself, and says that essentially this could create the ability to have a free digital pass that works with any healthcare provider and have real large, significant information regarding your healthcare or emergency needs as you enter into a country.
Right.
So if you scan yourself and let's say you have asthma or you have something to that area, you can have that. Now,
but what are the problems?
So Sao Paulo has cards that have a green border. In Shanghai, they have a stamp that is red. In parts of Mexico and Lebanon, there are different sizes of passports, handwritten by each person to be filled out.
Right. So you're getting to the point, right?
I am. Denmark has created an app.
Okay.
Called the Corona Passport. It's called Corona Pass. All right. So if you get this,
original name.
Yeah. Well, if you get this, essentially they would allow you, Denmark, to have the ability to do a couple things. So the first things is, are you able to go to an indoor table at a restaurant? Yes. With the Corona Passport, restaurants are able to opt out of the stringent restrictions to allow you seating in both indoors and outdoor areas.
Okay.
How about concerts or sports games? That, too, is part of the country's reopening plan. The government sanctioned indoor seating for sports and other stadium events, specifically with this pass holder
Let's go
only.
to Denmark.
All right. Anything else? On April 6th, hair salons, tattoo businesses, and massage parlors, and driving schools. I don't know what the driving school had to do with anything, but and driving schools open
people together
or exclusively to customers with the Corona Pass. The Danish government does not track each time the pass is used, but the ministry said that they had about 3.5 million people who have visited the app and have applied to show that they are vaccinated within the country. How do you get one of these? You have to be fully vaccinated or test negative for a coronavirus within the past 72 hours and receive a temporary pass. So you can get a full pass or a temporary pass. And this includes the ability to also run some of their old school train tickets. So it's kind of like a pass in Denmark.
So in Denmark, you need to have this thing going on if you want to go do stuff.
If you want to do something. Let's talk about the European Union is also developing a system. Of course, the EU is.
All right,
on June 21st, the EU is expected to introduce a certificate called the Digital Green Pass. So green's like the marijuana color.
Green is go, buddy.
Green is go.
Green is go.
So you get green and you're happy and the Green Pass,
well, yeah,
which will aim to allow
people
people who have been vaccinated against the coronavirus to travel more freely. Under the proposed rules, each nation within the bloc, Nathan within the bloc would decide
work for you, didn't it?
what areas you could travel, and the green digital pass holders will include admission into all sporting events, restaurants, specifically pubs, and will include Denmark.
That's important.
That also has their digital green pass, so you could use it on top of that.
That's important.
So the pubs, they specifically called out. Now let's talk about Israel. The name of the card in Israel. The Green Pass.
No way.
Yeah, that's good. Can it get you an indoor table? Absolutely. How about entry to a concert or sports game? Absolutely. Anything else? The pass will allow you to enter many businesses, including swimming pools, gyms, theater, and wedding halls, as well as cultured events. Consider having a wedding. If everybody has a pass, they can attend. Otherwise, they will be eliminated from any sports games or religious gatherings. Having the pass may also allow you to enter into a quarantine area for 10 to 14 days after international travel.
Awesome.
How does it work? Essentially, you go to the Israel's Ministry of Health, began offering the pass in early February. You essentially have to show records that you have vaccinations from a registered Israeli medical professional.
And is this a digital format? Or
this is all digital formats.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Dun, dun, dun. Where's the next card here? Green Pass, blah, 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 blah.
Did you get lost?
I didn't get... Well, no, I'm trying to go quicker. All right.
Oh, yeah, go fast.
So, let's talk about the United States.
Yeah, what's the United States doing?
So let me. I was going to say Finland has one, and a bunch of other people have them. So
right.
They're all coming out with this. So let's talk about New York. New York has essentially created the Excelsior Pass. All right.
Interesting.
Can you get it to go indoors? Yes. How about entry to a concert and sports game? That too. Anything else? The state has been requiring some government employees to use it for its businesses. But you would also be able to receive entry into restaurants, weddings, Madison Square Gardens, Barclays Center, and Yankee Stadium. According to Eric Polinsky, Vice President of Emerging Business Networks at IBM Watson Health, it is specifically designed for the states. So let's talk about this. It is a scanned green card that a person is able to attain after 14 days of full vaccination. Why is New York offering this? Well, around 400,000 people in the state have downloaded it so far and have used it to enable them to get back to their everyday lives.
Right. This is one of the issues I'm guessing is going to be in the news soon.
So it's going to be in the news soon because we talk about it on TechTime Radio, and as soon as it's in the TechTime Radio,
maybe
2
not
weeks
in the
from
news, but it's going to light up social media.
All right. So let's talk about New York State is the very first company to do this, working specifically with IBM to provide a certification.
Right.
Will there ever be a national app for the U.S.? No. All of the 138 million Americans who have completed their first shot should have received the same COVID-19 vaccination records created by the Center of Disease Control and Prevention. But it's up to the states, universities, private businesses to decide whether they want to require these cards or offer a supplemental app.
Right.
Now, we have a big announcement coming up in the state of Washington in a couple days from our governor. So I wonder if he's going to be talking about a Washington state-based app that will have supplemental items if you decide to subscribe for that.
Would you know anything?
I may.
I know what we're waiting for. We're
so we'll see what
we're waiting for the bad news.
All right, the White House said in March that there's no plans for the Universal Federal Vaccination Database or a mandate for a single accreditation. While New York has promoted the Excelsior as a way to safely, quickly reopen the state, lawmakers at least half a dozen states, including Texas, Florida, Arkansas, and Washington, have been moving to ban businesses from requiring vaccinations and saying the privacy violation will slow down the reopening of e-commerce, but this app may help.
Yeah.
With the difference of the Excelsior visually, the only difference between this and other states' apps would be that when you scan it, it comes up with the Statue of Liberty.
Ooh.
So I wonder if we get a Washington app, what's it come up with? It's going to come up with our green flag?
It's going to come
or
up with
Apple?
The profile of George Washington.
George Washington? Okay, that sounds good. All right. So, do you think we should be using technology to have all of our vaccinations for COVID-19 in an app?
Yeah, this is where it gets complicated.
This is where I want to hear from people, all right?
This is where things start getting this.
The vaccination passport app. So, again, you already have your vaccination card. We get that. But an app specifically designed for your phone or mobile device. Agnostic. Would you download it? Would you put your data in there? Would you trust the people that have the data in there to reopen your deal?
Yeah, this is.
Let us know. Give us a call right now. 425-373-5527 or 888-298-KKNW-5569. Mike, would you put it on your app?
I would.
Okay.
But I know what's going to happen.
So I would.
What would you do?
I would put it on my app. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I got vaccinated. I'm already on my second shot, and I specifically did that so I could get
card. I got the other app that we downloaded about the exposure. I don't mind doing that.
I don't mind doing that either. I mean, there's so much information about me out there.
But this is going to be problematic.
Oh yes,
right?
Because if we load an app, where does it go next?
Well, it's not just the app. There's all kinds of things that are going to. We're talking about people and their privacy issues. What about COVID deniers?
Yeah, that COVID doesn't exist.
COVID doesn't even exist.
I know some of those people.
So do I. Now they're going to be all flipped out because they have to prove that they have been vaccinated.
You know what? Let me just tell you that
doesn't exist.
Let me just tell you that we'll all line up at Disneyland, and when Disneyland says that you can get in with your COVID-19 app, you'll see all those people that say that they don't want to go on in, and they have to go to a different line. They'll probably change tunes.
Yeah, this is going to add to the confusion that's already going on with other stuff like the masks and everything else. And there's privacy issues involved, obviously, because we're sharing medical information.
Yeah, we'll talk about some of those. Yes, we'll talk about
waving my card. I was looking at my card. My card has
your ID on it.
Yeah, it has my insurance number on there. I'm like, I can't show this on the. I can't show
it on the air. Somebody can be Mike Day.
Yeah, I didn't show it.
You don't want that to happen.
No.
All right, I get you. All right, so we'd love to hear from you guys. Again, we'd love to hear from you during the week. If you want to contact us at techtimeradio.com and give us a feeling on what you think about this, please do that. We're going to head out to a commercial break. When we come on back, we got Mike's favorite segment, Protect Yourself Today.
Your favorite what?
Yeah, your favorite segment.
Your business deserves the same expertise as that of a Fortune 500 company. If you need a CIO-level service, why hire a full-time staff member at $250,000 a year when you can get this on-demand service for fractions of the cost? As your CIO on demand, we'll give you the steps you need to take so as to minimize interruption to your business and profitability, and provide you and your business with training and education to prevent future attacks. To get an efficiency review for your business today, contact us at www.ee-services.com.
New Advil Dual Action with acetaminophen fights pain in two ways. Advil targets pain at the source, while acetaminophen blocks pain signals. The future of pain relief is here. New Advil Dual Action.
I like that music.
Oh, you like that music? That was pretty good, wasn't it?
That was a lot better than the Bounce Bounce Chicka Bow music.
All right. Okay, so let me get into our next segment, which is your favorite. We call this Protect Yourself Today.
We call this Drink Yourself Today.
Protect Yourself Today.
All right, story number 1. 5 U.S. agencies using Pulse Secure VPNs have been possibly breached. So the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, which is owned by the United States government, investigating whether 5 government agencies may have been breached when attacked exploited vulnerabilities in the Pulse Connect Secure VPN product, according to a senior agency official. So what's a VPN? It's a virtual private network. The idea of a VPN is when you're on the internet, you want to be secure with your data, so that
hide your data.
Hide your information, hide what you're trafficking on your IP protocol, which is your communication back and forth. So you use a virtual private networking to hide all your information there. Essentially, the United States government has been using this company called Pulse Connect Secure VPN products.
Mm-hmm.
Well, according to a senior agency official, they have been breached.
Oh, no.
Earlier this month, researchers at the security firm FireEye
oh, it's your favorite.
published a report. Well, they got this one right. So, you know what? Broken clocks correct at least twice a day.
Oh, listen.
All right. So, security firm FireEye
Take another drink and then do it again.
published a report about attack groups attempting to exploit 4 Pulse Connect security vulnerabilities, including a 0-day flaw discovered in April that is now tracked to the CV 2020 release. Ivanti, the parent company of Pulse Secure, has issued patches for the vulnerability and urged customers to apply them immediately. Following the disclosure by FireEye and Ivanti, CISA issued an emergency directive requiring executive branch agencies to run tests using the Pulse Connect security integrity tool. So they had to create a tool to go on in and see if they were still using their vulnerability. So they found out what the vulnerability was on their networks back in April 23rd. This found out last week that many of the results found that at least 5 executive branches and agencies had evidence of suspicious or malicious activity within the networks. Matt Hartman, the Deputy Executive Assistant Director for the CISA, said that 26 federal agencies use Pulse Connect secure VPNs. The CISA is aware of at least 5 federal civilian agencies who have run the Pulse Connect security tool that have identified indications of potential unauthorized access. We are working with each agency to validate them to see what's going on. The Justice Department is taking a look at what's going on with those breaches.
As they should.
So VPN, not always secure. We talked about that, right? You got to be careful on your VPN selections of what you use.
Anything you're doing anywhere online, you have to be careful with.
You should always make sure that...
nothing is 100%.
But your IT individuals should be smart enough to make sure that they provide the security patches.
Yeah.
I have people sometimes call me and say, hey, you know what, I'm having problems with my computer and I have this going on. I say, okay, well, let's go take a look and see, do you have any Windows updates? Oh, yeah, I just don't update them, though. I'm like, why wouldn't you update? As soon as there's an update for an Apple device, a Windows device, anytime someone releases an update, the idea is you should immediately patch it because they only release updates when they find they have an issue with the problem.
This is like sex ed.
What's that?
Right? It's like sex ed.
Okay, explain that to me.
The only true way of not getting in trouble is abstinence.
Okay, that's right. Okay, I guess. I don't remember my sex ed class like that.
Wow, that's all I can say is wow.
You were trying to figure out where that was going.
Yeah, I
wasn't it?
did. I was kind of hoping. I was like, okay, David, make sure you have your hand on the button.
What's he talking about?
All right, so but essentially, if you're in charge of IT, you need to make sure you patch your stuff that you have available. That is like 101, and IT shops don't do that. And people don't update their devices. Absolutely, everybody should update their devices every time they have the opportunity.
What about when an update doesn't work and you don't know how to fix it?
Did
I stump you there?
If the update happens, most software tools have the ability to do a rollback.
Yeah.
So if you do a release and you have a problem with that, most operating systems absolutely have the ability to do a rollback. If they don't have an ability to do a rollback and there's something that goes wrong with that, normally if you contact the customer support, they're going to work with you immediately to try to fix that because they don't want that to happen to other people.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I've ever really ran into that. Even with Windows stuff, I still update it immediately, and I've never really had a problem.
Yeah, one of the computers that I have has that problem where it stumbles on the updates, and so it'll log in that the update never happened, and then it'll try and go and do it again.
So there's a Windows Update Fix utility tool that you need to do underneath the control panel that has the ability to go in and fix
now
Windows update.
that's why it's good for you to be in my life.
So is it your Surface over there that you have?
No.
Okay.
No,
but
it's one of my older ones.
So yes, there's actually a tool. So that sometimes happens, but Windows has an ability. If you look at Windows Update Fix patch, where you can actually go on into the control panel and click on the Windows Fix patch, and it'll actually take care of those. So any ones that aren't taken care of. Maybe we'll help that out later. All right, story number 2. The Justice Department, and we're not talking like the Justice Department of the Justice League, but the Justice Department
of Justice
is launching a ransomware task force.
Which is about time.
So from CNN Business, the Justice Department has created a new task force dedicated to rooting out and responding to the growing threat of ransomware, according to an agency memo obtained by CNN Business. The new initiative follows that the memo describes as the worst year ever last year for ransomware attacks. Incidents in which hackers seized controls of victims' computers and refused to unlock them until they receive a payment. The Department of Justice effort highlights how cybersecurity threats have become a major focus of the Biden administration, particularly following other recent high-profile network security instances such as Russian-based attacks, the Microsoft Exchange server vulnerabilities, and an attribute to Chinese hackers. The new task force will unify efforts across the federal government to pursue and distribute, so this is going to help out with story number 1, actions to include takedown of servers, the use of spreaded reasonable ransomware seizures, and criminal prosecution to essentially take care of this.
Okay, is this going to be an effective measure?
So I think it will be, because what they're going to do is they're going to have kind of a no-ask, no-tell when I decide to take down a server. So if I find a server that's maliciously doing stuff up there, I can use technology on the back end of the internet, and even if it's a device, they still have to connect and get an IP address from someplace. So the worst case scenario, if you have a server, you still have to have some ISP that's serving up the information. The United States government's just going to go on in and start shutting down all these ISP services and just say, you know what, you can't have this thing taken care of. We'll let you come back to us and tell us why you want to have this, but we're going to just start shutting you down and not letting you have access to the areas itself. So it's going to be a pretty aggressive model.
That is aggressive. I'm guessing there's going to be some legislation around that at some point due to due process.
So I'd expect, so you take a look back in the 1980s, 1990s, early when you had modems, a lot of bulletin board services. Essentially what happened, AT&T, all the phone companies got together and they were actually monitoring transactions by modem-based devices, and essentially those modem-based devices were able to say, hey, you know what, this person's sending a lot of data back and forth. We don't know if they're really regulated, and they were able to shut down bulletin board service. I know that there was one that I had for a wild card device to copy my Nintendo 64 stuff, and it went down one day and never went back up again.
Never came back up.
Oh, yeah, those were the fun days, let me tell you about that.
Those were the days.
All right, so going back to our last story that we talked about, that we said that we'd talk about more into our social media apps.
Social media for kids.
For kids, that's correct. 1.2 million apps. We talked about this on our previous hour. I just was really excited to find out Homogeneous Entertainment was in Bothell. I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
And Sierra Online was
Humongous? Is it humongous?
Well, it's humongous because it's not really spelled like humongous. So
that's humongous.
Is it humongous? It came up with an error when I put it in my word processor.
Oh, okay. Well, it's just a play on words.
Okay, so it's supposed to be humongous. Entertainment. So let's talk. So we talked about this. So we have a couple apps that are out there. We didn't get to spend a lot of time specifically talking about. Do you realize Disney has added their app Disney Club Penguin for over 14 years?
Yeah, I believe that.
So it's already been out there during the time, and they have already had essentially social media for kids of all ages.
Yeah, this is
I remember my daughter playing with that. You know, now she's 18, but I remember playing when she was a lot younger.
Yeah, so they've had social media apps out there for young kids. I mean, my kids had these little webkins or guys that were like these animals that you'd scan something and would kind of tell the story, and then they had these other little bot type of deal, and then you had the Star Wars figures that you put on your 360 devices. So
my son had some of those.
Okay, so Disney's been doing this. So why is it all of a sudden this Zigazoo social media app for kids ages 3 to 12 getting such negative press?
Well, the Zigazoo is getting a lot of positive press.
Well, it's also getting a lot of negative.
But it's getting a lot. Yeah,
it's kind of on the border of both sides.
Yeah, this is the problem: is that we already know what social media is doing to us globally in general, right? But now we're going to start doing this. We're marketing this stuff to younger and younger audiences. As I said earlier, that this is like the virtual version of selling cigarettes to kids. Because remember several years ago when all the cigarette companies got trouble for targeting children?
Yep.
This is the same thing. And there's a lot of complicated issues around these.
There's complicated issues?
Yeah.
So I'd say I can
think about it too.
3-year-old,
right?
little
think
young,
about,
could probably be doing social
Think about your what really is a 3-year-old going to be doing on one of these like apps?
I have no idea. But what if you're a 6 or 7-year-old kid?
Think about your 6 or 7. Okay, you got
Your
a 6
dad
or
and you
7-year-old kid who's doing these little films and sharing it, and they're looking for likes, and they're not getting any, so they're feeling rejected, right?
Okay.
And then we have the opposite side, which I don't know that a lot of people think about, but a lot of pedophiles use these types of platforms in order to get their kinks.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, okay.
So you've got that going on because who can watch this stuff?
So that is, I guess that is kind of a.
How do you connect? How do you connect with other people? How do you verify that the person on the other end of that? It's like Facebook.
You really don't, because your parents have to sign up, right? Your parents
have to do it, but it's like Facebook, where anybody can try to friend you, and there's no way of, unless you kind of have a savviness about the system, whether verifying that person is who they say they are. Because in a virtual world, I can be anybody I want.
That's true. So Pop Jam's been around too for over 10 years, but they at least monitor their apps from only 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. So at midnight when your 3-year-old should be.
I'm a little curious about a 3-year-old doing videos.
Okay, so what about the parents that have their kids and they plop them up? I mean, I do these videos for a preschool that I do, and there's car racing videos that I look for all the time. And the kids in the preschool, I like putting the little car videos in, and every once in a while you'll see a parent with a dad, and like the kid will be like the narration of this whole car race set that's going on. I think you can see a dad's filming it, professionally edited and everything like that. Is that a good thing for the kid because he really enjoys it? Dad's there.
There's positives and negatives to all of this stuff. There's positives and negatives. That's what's so complicated about it.
Because I kind of think that would be a cool thing to do, right?
Yeah.
You're building a racetrack. Your kid's talking about it.
Your kid's talking about it. It's like the kid with the rocks, whatever.
He's sitting on the porch talking about his Home Depot rocks he painted, and he's really excited about that. Mom or dad gets their little iPhone out, films it for a little bit.
Right, but what are we teaching these kids? Are we teaching them to be celebrities? Are we doing it as parents so that we can live vicariously through our children's possible success as a YouTube child star? I don't know. Yeah. Or, are we really connecting with other people? Because that's the
in
hard
the COVID-19 era now, though. Is this the only way that you connect with people right now? Because you haven't been able to be in school for a year.
we talked about this on Love Shack, right? So it's the same thing. Because of COVID, we've had to expand the way we try to connect with other human beings. But through virtual systems, connection is a very slippery slope.
It is. Well, we are wrapping up our second hour of Tech Time Radio. Hopefully people enjoyed what we had here to talk about. We a little bit longer subjects, a little bit more in-depth area. Either people like this or not. We would love to hear from you guys. You can go to techtimeradio.com, and there's a Contact Us section on the webpage. Mm-hmm. If you like a segment that we've done so far, if you didn't like the letter segment, if you did, you can absolutely provide us some feedback. We're going to be changing this around for the first couple weeks here until we kind of get into a groove that we feel really is appropriate for what we have taken care of. We absolutely want to open it. I know that we didn't have anybody calling the lines today, but hopefully we get some people calling on in so we can have some interaction one-on-one on the line. I didn't see any tweets, but I did see our Twitch feed was going really well, so we appreciate all the feedback that we got on our twitch.tv/TechTime Radio. And we are going to be ending with a trivia fact of the day. I think we have about 2 more minutes, David. Is that right? All right, so here we go.
We got a whole bunch of time left in Radio Land.
We do? I got tons of time in Radio Land? So I was worried about this. All right, so here we go. So I'm going to ask you both.
We got whiskey to finish, too.
Is this true or false? The most popular sport in film is boxing.
True.
True? True or false, David?
It's got to be false.
Oh, you are right, Mr. Gourdet. The most popular sports in films is boxing.
I've obviously been watching Bull Durham too much. Then.
You've been watching Bull Durham too much.
Rocky, baby. It's all about Rocky.
Now, if you want to watch a really good boxing film or movie, I would recommend you guys watching Diggstown. You ever seen Diggstown?
No.
Diggstown. Everybody needs to mark it right here on their calendar. DIGS Town. It's got James Wood in it. It's about a guy that gets out of prison, that comes back, and he's a con artist with boxing.
I need to go back into fighting.
You need to go, are you going to go back into fighting?
Yeah.
You go back into your karate?
That's right.
You going to go Karate Kid?
Yeah.
Have you watched any of those new Karate Kid shows?
Yeah.
That's all right.
They're pretty okay.
They're okay.
Yeah.
It's okay for a kid's show. Well, I am Nathan Mumm. We're excited that you guys are a part of our second hour. We have Microday here.
That's
Microday.
me.
And is your podcast on hold, I heard a little bit. Is that right?
I'm between seasons.
Between seasons
2 and 3.
Okay, so you're going to be going in season 3 when it comes on back?
Yep.
We got David Brown, who was officiating some games, some baseball today. The baseball over behind the board.
Softball. He does softball.
Yeah, he does softball. We thank you very much.
He's counting down.
We will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment in technology today. The fun doesn't stop there, as we recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. And also signing up on our YouTube page, where you can see us live in person. Yes, you can see us chat and have fun. youtube.com/TechTimeRadio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, Mumm's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.